In this video, we'll be talking about the import of DXF files into the OptimumCNC plasma system. This video is part 5 of the Import DXF series. We've already discussed the project import and shapes buttons, as well as the positioning, leads, and cut sequence. Here, we'll be talking about the general settings for the DXF file. When we click on the settings button, we will have the options for our lead size, curve, and parts distance. Let's go over each of these in detail. Lead size allows the user to edit the overall lead size or the default lead size for the entire file. So unlike the lead size for each specific lead that we've discussed previously, this allows us to edit the leads for every single one of the shapes, parts, etc. So here we can make it larger or smaller depending on what we prefer. Next we have the curve or the compensation for cut width. So right now it's set to 0, so there's no compensation for the width of the cut. Typically, this isn't strictly speaking true. You will have some compensation for the cut width. So as you increase this curve value, you can see that we have our curve on the outside of the external contours and on the inside of the internal contours. This corresponds to the external setting on the curve settings. If we switch this to internal curve, then if we go back down to 0, like this, so there's no curve, and then start to increase the compensation for the width of the cut, you can see that the curve is now actually on the inside of the original contour rather than on the outside as with the external option. Last, we have the parts distance. So this option signifies the distance at which new parts are added with respect to the other previously existing parts or the parts before it. So for instance, let me go to the shapes library here that was described in one of our earlier videos and add this rectangle. This rectangle will be added at a distance of 1 inch from the previous part, which was this letter C. Let me now add this circle at a distance of perhaps 2 inches. You can see that this distance is now a lot larger. Let's now lower this distance to something very low, like 0.1 of an inch, and add another square. You can see that it's so close that it pretty much overlaps because we have some compensation for the width of the cut. Overall, after you have set these settings, you can press the Set button to keep them as is within the CAM editor, and once you're satisfied with the file, you can import it by pressing the green button in the top ribbon. Thank you for watching.